Hello and welcome to the Bug Hunt. Today I will be showing you 50 bugs that currently exist in Paladins. As we all know, Paladins is under an infestation, with swarms of bugs running rampant. These bugs range in size from being small, like missing voice lines, to being massive, like abilities or cards not functioning. My goal with this video is to bring attention to some bugs in the realm in the hopes that they get fixed. Once this video is uploaded, I will be sharing it to the Paladins team via Twitter and their bug report form. If you want to show support towards these bugs getting squashed, then I highly suggest you share this video where you can. Just a disclaimer, I know for a fact that I missed a lot of bugs. I don't play every champion, and I don't play Siege a lot. On top of that, some bugs were excluded since I couldn't find footage of them despite knowing of their existence. I wanted to have video evidence for most of the bugs I talk about today. Alrighty everyone, grab your nets, it's time to go bug hunting. I'll begin by talking about general bugs, a few map-specific ones, and then champion-specific ones. Ragdolls. When you kill most champions, they don't ragdoll until they hit the ground. What's odd is that this wasn't always the case. In older patches, the characters would ragdoll immediately upon being killed. Even more weird is that because of this bug, there are some cases where the dead champ will stick to a wall and just stand there. Dolphin Mount. In certain areas, when jumping with a mount, you get this dolphin diving result. Heavy walls. I'm sure you've all heard of these. As the name implies, some walls in certain maps are heavy, meaning when you try to jump or carry your momentum near them, you are stopped in place. This is extremely noticeable on champions who benefit from wall jumps for added mobility. There are a ton of heavy walls in the game, but I only got footage of a few in Magistrate's archives. Match point music. In Siege, when the round for a 3-3 match point begins, you are supposed to hear the match point music immediately upon the round starting. However, the music will only begin playing once you die in the round.
3, 2, 1. You're mine.
Hearing the match point music on your way to the point is one of the most adrenaline-rushing moments in this game. It's a shame that it's bugged right now. Second cap in Marauder's Port. In Marauder's Port, if you fall off the map near the capture zone, you will see a second capture point underneath. Exploring below deck. Also in Marauder's Port, you can go under the map and out of bounds. There are even a few spots to stand on. Spatial audio. I'm not sure if this bug is specific to Marauder's Port or not, but if an enemy is walking beneath you, it sounds like they are right next to you. Stuck in the bushes. In Magistrate's archives, you can get stuck in this spot with certain champions. Your directional keys will have no effect, and the only way to escape is with a movement skill. If your champion doesn't have a movement skill, you will be stuck there until you're killed. Atlas missing voice lines. According to the Paladins wiki, Atlas has voice lines against Leon and Terminus when he is killed by them.
You're blind to our threat, Doombringer.
These voice lines are never heard in-game though. A-Pose 1. When you select Corvus, he will A-Pose for a split second before performing his intro animation. The same bug can also be seen when viewing him in the champion section. Hidden healing. Furia's card Fire Siphon has some weird interactions. This card heals you for each enemy hit with Wings of Wrath. For starters, the healing you receive does not show up on the left side of your screen like other healing does. And now the big one, the healing is not affected by Cauterize or Willow's Dead Zone. Now, onto my main Imani. Bear with me cause she has the most bugs here. False damage. Imani does not count towards the Cry Havoc quest. This is the challenge where you have to play 2 games as a damage dealer to get some gold and Battle Pass XP. Hot Hands. If you use your Inferno Cannon while holding a fireball, the fireball animation will persist until you charge another one. Frostbomb Mana Generation. In theory, the Frostbomb should generate mana for each enemy it hits, but in practice, the Frostbomb only generates mana from one target max. This is especially odd since the Inferno Cannon can gain mana from multiple targets. Mana Gyp in Ice. If you tap to use your primary fire in Ice Stance, you will be gypped of the double shot Frostbolts. Mana Gyp in Fire. On occasion, you will lose access to your instacast Fireball while still consuming the full mana bar. Mana Freeze. On occasion, Imani's mana bar will freeze and won't generate any further. The only way to fix this is by getting killed. Splitting Ice Exceptions. Splitting Ice does not proc on Barracks turrets or Inara's Warder's Field. It does proc on Ying Illusions and Grok Totems though. However, with Grok Totems, it seems that a bounce shot will never target them. You can bounce off of a totem, but not to a totem. Macarena. Occasionally, Imani's Inferno Cannon will no-reg. After this, if you try to charge a fireball, Imani will begin flailing her arms around. She will also be floating if she was airborne, to which you can fly quite a distance. What allies and enemies will see is Imani stuck in the Inferno Cannon pose. Imani missing Voicelines. According to the Paladins wiki, Imani has 2 Voicelines for when she is on a killing spree.
The cold. She always gets what she wants. Flames consume all who stand against me.
And 3 kill taunts, 1 for Evie,
You know nothing, Witch of Snow.
Fernando,
Fire cannot kill a dragon.
and Genos.
I felt the shifts in time. Are those your doing, monk?
All of these voice lines are never heard in game. Imani rare voice lines. Even weirder than the missing voice lines is 2 voice lines that are super rare to hear. I believe these 2 lines were meant for Imani's Inferno Cannon. I have one of them for you to listen to right now. A little hard to hear, but Imani is saying burn. I've also heard Imani say Ignam Valenti, but I couldn't find any footage of it. What's super weird about these voice lines is that they're not even present in the Paladins wiki, and they're usually really good with this stuff. In my 80 levels of playing Imani, I want to say that I've heard each of these voice lines maybe twice, 3 times max. Begone to the floor. If you use Isle's ultimate while looking directly downwards, the ultimate will move along the floor at a very slow pace. You also get this interesting outcome if you use it over a cliff. Thunderstorm of Bullets. Occasionally, Khan's Commander's Grab will not take you to third person, in which case you get results like this. The hell was that? Invisible Walls. As Koga, when you're on a King of the Hill match in Trade District, you can climb on the invisible walls. Bad walls? Koga can't climb certain walls despite visually looking like it should be fine. There's a lot of spots for these, but I nabbed a few from Trade District. Auto-aim headshots. As Lex, if you jump to trigger mid-air inaccuracy while using In Pursuit, the ability can headshot. We also tried this with Leon, but to no avail. Not safe for work hook. As Makoa, if you use your hook immediately after ulting, the hook will appear to be coming out of Makoa's crotch. Really brings a new meaning to the term hooker. Scoped Inspect. As Octavia, you can inspect your weapon while scoped in. False Distortion Field. Occasionally, you can see enemy health bars through an enemy distortion field. This completely defeats the purpose of the ability. Undercover Ult. As Rom on Marauder's Port, you can hit enemies with your ultimate behind this piece of cover if you stand in a certain spot. Non-functional talent. Ray's extension talent does not work. The talent is supposed to increase the range of chain heal bounces. Well, here's me without extension. Here's me with extension. As you can see, the heal breaks in the same spot. Reversed ultimate lines. When playing Ruckus with the Pirate's Treasure or 8 Ocean skin, your ultimate voice line will be the friendly version. This only applies to you, however, as enemies hear the hostile version and allies hear the friendly version. Ignoring line of sight. Ceres's ultimate can still pull you in, even if you break line of sight. The time frame for this to happen is very small, however. Silicone. Yeah, this happens on quite a few champions, but it happens a lot to Skye. CC Cleanse? If you let the timer on Rune of Travel expire, Talus will be able to teleport despite being stunned or crippled. Waving Hello. On occasion, Terminus's Power Siphon will not activate. This results in Terminus waving hello to the enemies and you getting put on cooldown. Ascension. When you kill Terminus while he has his ultimate ready, his pieces or body, depending on the skin, will float. Rocky Stylist. With Terminus's gold skin, he does not break apart upon his death. Instead, his hair stretches every time he is killed. T-pose? When selecting Tiberius, he strikes this pose for a brief second before performing his intro animation. The same pose can be seen when viewing him in the Champions page. Squatting Cat. On occasion, if Tiberius gets crippled during Crouching Tigron, his animations will break. Here you can see him sliding around, and doing dolphin dives with his legs when he jumps. I've also seen times where he's stuck spinning around, but I couldn't get footage of it for this vid. 2 intros. When you select Torvald, he will perform his intro animation twice. For some reason, the second one is a tad to the left and a smidge closer to the screen. 2 voices. When you receive a bubble from a friendly Torvald, you will hear a voice line corresponding to the current weapon skin he's wearing, not the actual skin itself.
Encapsulation complete.
Do my bidding.
Reversed ultimate lines. With the Berserker skin, Torvald's ultimate voice lines are reversed. The Torvald and enemy players will hear the friendly ultimate line, while only allies hear the hostile version. Really? Come on, y'all. If I have to grind through 100 matches of hell to get this skin, the least you can do is let me scream at my enemies. Intruder Alert. As Vatu, you can use your ambush to teleport into enemy spawns. You can't deal damage to them, and you will die shortly after. Out of bounds. If you use ambush on a target with a far-traveling movement skill, you might get thrown under the map. 1 HP. Vatu's HP card at level 2 will give you 79 health instead of 80. This odd bug only seems to happen with the level 2 version of the card, as the level 1 and 5 versions worked as intended for me. Broken Boot. As Vivian, if you use the unrefined emote, then jump while reloading, you will get this result where the gun stays in place despite Vivian performing the reload animation. This bug has been in the game for a long time. I remember seeing it a lot when third person was still a thing. When you select Vora, she will briefly A-pose before performing her intro animation. Like the other similar bugs on this list, the same occurs when viewing her in the Champions page. Siphon Reversal Exceptions. This is a really weird one. Vora's light and heavy attacks do not feed Reversal or Power Siphon. Only the first medium attack does. Even weirder is that Vora's Obliteration will feed these abilities, despite being melee-based. Rare Voicelines. Vora and Yaggorath have kill taunts for all the champions prior to their release. Players were complaining that Vora talks too much, so in the patch that followed Vora's release, it seems that the devs made these lines incredibly rare. Come on guys, happy medium. Before it was too much, now it's too little. I for one miss Vora trash-talking every champion, and I love Yaggorath's quotes. Unused Vora line. According to the Paladins wiki, Vora has a kill taunt against what I would assume to be Yaggorath.
Sorry, but our relationship has run its course. This was the only way to ensure you didn't turn on me too.
This line can never be heard in-game. Ults behind cover. As Yaggorath, you can use your ultimate on enemies behind certain cover. In some cases, the enemies will be pulled out of cover and eaten, and in other cases, the enemy will get stunned and take 1000 damage. Okay, last up, swapped voice lines. As Xin, when you kill Sha Lin, You will occasionally hear this voice line.
That's 7 in a row.
I'm not sure what's in Shaolin's pants, but I'm pretty sure this line was meant for Leon. And that concludes today's bug hunt. Thank you all for joining me. If this video does well, I might make a part 2 in the future. I love Paladins, but I want the game to shake its reputation of being a buggy mess. Obviously, I would hope the devs prioritize those game-breaking bugs like Terminus and Octavia, but I really hope we see some love to the voice lines as well. Which bugs do you guys want to see fixed? Let me know down below. Don't forget to clap that like button and laser down that sub button. Snatching the bell is also a great way to stay in the loop. As always, I'm YellowNinja, and peace.